I could rip through the details of these packs in about 8 minutes. Showing you all the features, maybe having a short POU discussion, done, 8 minutes. Max 10 if I really wanted to. But philosophy is core to the application of gear, the philosophies of use I discuss here in the nutnfancy project. It always has been. And so I'm going to lead off with this. In discussing with TMPers throughout the last 5.5 or so years, both in person and online, I've had a lot of guys tell me the following. I wish I had a dad like yours, Nutton, because my dad sucks. He sucked when I grew up. He didn't do anything with me, didn't teach me anything, and I feel like I got ripped off in life. I feel bad when I hear that, I really do. But I would like to put perhaps the whole situation in perspective with the following. I think all dads suck in some way. They really do. They mean to do well. They have great plans to do a lot of cool things with their children. Sometimes they just can't pull it together and they fail in that desire to be a good dad. But I think most dads are awesome in some ways. And you got to give them credit when they are awesome. Okay, my dad was like that. And you guys know I've put out some philosophy videos, Lessons of My Father. I'm going to do more about the great things my dad did. But in addressing those, I always intro those videos by saying my dad was flawed. He had a lot of things he did with us kids growing up that we didn't dig so much. But I don't concentrate on that. I concentrate on the good. The good stuff he taught me personally as his son. And one of those things is going to lead off this video right now. And that is, he raised me as a backpacker. It was part of his personal depussification process for me. I'm not sure, by the way, he was totally successful in it. But he tried, and in that, he was perfect. When we went out hunting, fishing, camping, out in the out of doors, in the mountains, through multiple states, you guys have seen the pictures, the video, some of the video, we'd go backpacking. We were self-contained units. And I got to tell you, there were a lot of trips I was on with my dad in the rain and the dark with a heavy load on my back. And I was saying to myself, this sucks. And my dad sucks. You been there? I bet you have. So at the time, I wasn't going, oh, my dad's so awesome. Look at all the cool things he's doing for me. I say it now, but I didn't then. But he was awesome in that way. And that heritage that he passed on to me as a backpacker is a core concept to my approach to gear here in the nutnfancy project. When I throw out the acronyms of TCE, SAWC, those come from my backpacking days. Yes, there's some tactical stuff thrown in there, but mostly the core concept is outdoor experience, being a self-contained backpacker deep in the mountains. That's how I grew up. As long as my health holds out, I'll continue to be a backpacker. No four-wheelers, no motorcycles, no electricity, no gas. Everything comes in on this. And that's what this review is about. Now, some guys may find it odd that here in the nutnfancy project, having that core foundation of backpacking, that I really don't have that many review videos out on specific models of backpacks. Long-time subs know why, but in case you're just joining the project or you missed those videos, I'll summarize it as follows. Several reasons. One, the colors of the backpacks have to be just right for me. Okay, the loud colors, I don't dig. You know, the bright yellows, neons, blues, all that, I don't dig it. The model can't be short-lived. And the market has been flooded with short-lived backpacking models. They're there for a couple years and they're gone. I'm not going to waste time on reviewing a model that's here and gone within a couple years. It's a waste of time. If people find that video years later, they can't find the model, they're frustrated. Now, when I started TMP way back in 2008, I came out with some core backpacking equipment reviews. In other words, how to evaluate a small pack, a medium-sized pack, internal, external frame. You can look those up. Those date all the way back to 2008, I believe. Still valid. Everything I said in those videos play. And what it is arms you with buying knowledge of perhaps how to apply it to your system, to the way you would backpack. Okay, and probably the biggest reason I don't usually review specific models of backpacks is I don't think they represent great value. And then for me as a consumer, just like you, I look at the price. Let's say it's $500 for what is hailed to be an awesome backpack, either through print or online media, and it just fails to connect with me because I think it's a ripoff. And I don't like that. I like getting a lot for my money, and a lot of the gear I review here in the Nut and Fancy project, not all of it, but a lot of it is super high value. That I think for the money you're paying, you're going to get a lot for your money. And I hear from tens of thousands of TMPers, literally, throughout the last 5.5 years. They'll say, dude, great review. I love it, love it, love it. This item, knife, gun, backpack, tactical gear. That's why I don't have a ton, and never will have a ton, of specific models of backpacks. Videos, review videos. Unless everything coalesces. I'm talking the coloration, the quality levels, I forgot to mention that. The models are durable. And more importantly, like I said, the value is smoking. When that happens, I'm going to do a review. And that's what this video is. It's actually a 5-in-1 review video. I'm going to talk about 5 different backpacks. I'm going to roll it into one video. Don't know how long it will last. I'll make it as efficient as possible. Let's get on it. You guys know from the title, it's already from a company I really, really love, and that is Kelty. You talk about value in a lot of ways, and this goes back decades, long before TMP. Kelty to me represents how to deliver gear. Very little hype, if any hype at all, comes from that company that I've seen. They just make awesome gear for a low price. I mean, they stay in business, but I mean, you're looking at the packs, and I'm going to show you right now. There's other manufacturers like Mystery Ranch. You know, they'll charge $700 for the pack I'm going to show you. Equal quality. Now, granted, it may have a few more bells and whistles, different colorations, multicam, ATAX, whatever. But is that really hugely important in the big scheme of things? It's not. So Kelty rocks. I'm a fan, have been. I reviewed several of their gear items because I've been stoked about them here in TMP. And the models we're going to talk about right now, I'm bringing to the table. They are tested now in TMP. Are threefold. I'm talking about 3 major packs. It's going to be the awesome, I mean awesome. I'm so impressed with this pack. Redwing 50. Okay, the next one, size up, will be the Coyote 80. It's going to be a fun review, dudes. These are stuffed with pillows, so it shows you kind of the form of the pack. And then the humongous and very capable Red Cloud 110. Now, I said 5 packs, and I do mean 5. We're going to talk about the Red Cloud 90, which is a little bit smaller than this Mamma Jamma. How about POU? Well, dude, if you're still here in this video at this point, you already know about POU. You've probably watched my other backpacking reviews. A few months back, maybe it was a lot of months back, I forget. I did the Eagle, also a Kelty product, 7850. And that is a great tactical, very large tactical backpack. But like I said in that video, if you got to haul a lot of gear, ammunition, body armor, food, first aid supplies, sleeping gear, extra clothing, especially in a snowy environment, you're going to need that size. Now, there's a lot of different approaches to backpack. There's a lot of different approaches of how much gear do I need to take in this situation. Do I need that much gear? You know, I think most people, really want to pare it down, right? They don't want to take a lot of stuff. You guys who've watched my backpacking videos know that I like a good system. I like capabilities. When I go bivouac camping, that's where I get to a point. I set up camp. I stay there for 3 days, maybe longer. So I don't know if these are ultra long range packs that I'm showing you here. I mean, that Red Cloud 110 is very capable. And let me go over the sizes real quick. This one, Red Cloud, this big one, the biggest one, is a lot lighter than that Eagle 128 liter or 7850 cubic inches. That one, I think, I don't know, weighed like freaking 10 plus pounds. This one is 5 pounds, 13 ounces. It's 6,600 cubic inches or 108 liters. A little bit smaller than the Eagle, but it might be what you need. And the reason I'm rolling all these into one video is because I want to show you for the money how much capabilities you're going to get with getting into these Eagle backpacks. I said this before, you need to have Not just one size of backpack. If you're a backpacker, an outdoor adventurer, a hunter, or if you just want to be prepared for a self-contained WROL situation. You won't have your motorcycle, probably won't have gas. You're going to be carrying it. And like I said in the Eagle video, you need to be in shape for that. You need to have some physical endurance, a certain amount of body strength to get it done. And the best way to do that is to practice. You go backpacking for fun. Then if things ever kick off, you're like, hey, I'm used to this. I've done it all the time. So if that Red Cloud, by the way, 110, and I also think they have a Red Cloud 90. Here's a picture of it. 5 pounds, 10 ounces, so it's 3 ounces lighter. 55 cubic inches, 5,500 cubic inches, 90 liters. That's a great mid-sized backpack. Now, if you haven't watched my vids before, you'll go, mid-size, that's a huge backpack. Well, that's not how I classify them. Because like I said, I've been doing this for decades. I get out there and I don't believe what the industry calls, you know, a 3-day backpack is actually a 3-day backpack, for instance. It's more like an overnight bag. If that. Here's a Coyote 80. It is 5 pounds, 5 ounces, 4,900 cubic inches, 80 liters. For your reference, all of these backpacks, in my opinion, are light for what they give you in terms of reliability, comfort, and durability. That's a big thing in the project. You guys know that. Redwing 50, by the way, 3 pounds, 5 ounces, 3,100 cubic inches, 52 liters. It comes in a small medium, that's one size, and then a medium large. There will be some slight variances between those two sizes of the Redwing. So pick which one fits your situation, what kind of an adventure you're going to do. For instance, if you're going to do a bug out kit and you have determined you want to have it a backpacking bug out kit, by the way, I would give you a word of caution on that because you may be injured and you may not be able to carry it on your back. I plan to talk more about that. But let's say you're like, I want a backpack. I think you should go at least the Coyote 80. At least. We're talking POU here, dudes. Preferably the Red Cloud 110 if you are tall enough and strong enough to carry that much weight. Well, what kind of weight are you talking about, TMP? Well, you'd be surprised if you add all that stuff I mentioned earlier, you're looking at 100 pounds, easy. And if you don't believe me, look at the loadouts, the combat loadouts that troops in Afghanistan are carrying. Special operations, Army guys, they carry a lot of weight. And you too will be carrying a lot of weight. Go watch the series Operation Red Skies here in the nutnfancy project. A lot of what I was doing that series about was to test the concept of tactical backpacking to completely self-contained. In that situation with 308 battle rifles, a lot of weight. Be okay, I would go, I'm talking bug out kit, at least that larger size. The Redwing, you might be able to do it. It's going to be tight though. You're going to be giving up a lot of capability. Long range patrol, LRP. I'm just using that acronym because a lot of guys know what it is. Combat operations. All of these packs, I think, are good enough for that. That's saying a lot. And we're going to hit reliability and durability again here. POU, travel. So you're traveling through Europe, you're backpacking through Europe, or you're a college student, you're going to classes. The Redwing 50 would be great for that. Maybe a little bit on the large side for a college campus, depending on what kind of course load you're taking, right? Or, traveling country to country. I think the Coyote 80 would be great. Red Cloud 90, 110, ideal. I like you to choose a certain backpack size specific for the adventure you have coming. You can't just say, I'm going to buy one back. I've said this before. I don't think you're going to be happy with that. And then finally, I'd say gift item. When I'm filming this, we got Christmas coming up. If you have an adventurer or if you're a dad, a mom, you want to start that backpacking tradition in your family, here you go. Right here, awesome. I'm going to talk about the suspension, and the poster child for this will be the Coyote 80. Everything I say from this point on, as if it hasn't been that way, is going to be completely positive about this pack series. I can't really think of anything I don't like about it in this iteration. Now, if you were to delay buying these backpacks, let's say 2 years, like, cool video, nothing, I like it, I'll just put it on the list, and then 2 years go by and you go, oh, I never got that Red Cloud. I never got that Coyote. And you jump in, the models could have totally changed. That will probably be a bad thing, because the reason I've waited so long to do the video on the Redwing, at least this version of the Redwing, I'll show you another one, Coyote and the Red Cloud, it's because I didn't like the previous versions to the level I was stoked about them. The design features, as I'm going to show you on these packs, the colorations are so awesome. It is a snapshot in time. This is when you want to get into these backpacks. I think they'll be remembered as classic, both tactical and outdoor adventure backpacks. Okay, there's your warning. So if you like them, pull the trigger, get them. These are adjustable. Okay, both the Red Cloud and the Coyote have an adjustable system here. It's called the Cloud Lock 2 suspension. Basically, you'll unvelcro this bottom section here, and you'll slide this, perforated pad up to the point where it's comfortable for you. It's in the instructions. It's real easy to do. I found it to lock into place. It didn't slip and slide at all. In carrying not a huge load, I'd say about 60 pounds. In the outings that I've done with, I think the Coyote 80 is what I took. Great. Look at the ventilation on this thing too. By the way, this is not like, groundbreaking. There's so many great backpacks out there. Again, we go back to value equation. How much are they? What do they provide? And yes, there are other ones at this price level that are also awesome. But we're going to concentrate on this one. This is a deep channel right here that allows that sweat to pour out. You got the mesh right here, athletic mesh. Underneath the padded, heavily padded, I shouldn't say, let's say mid-padded shoulder straps, you have mesh. Hip belt, also mesh. And the hip belt is also lined with high-density polyurethane, not urethane, but HDPE. That makes it stiffer. Helps transfer that weight to your hips. You absolutely, by the way, want that. Do not carry all the weight on your shoulders. It won't work. A lot of people who don't know about backpacking think, hey, all the weight's up here. Okay, as much as you can, because you have a bone structure down there that can carry that weight on your hips, transferring it directly in linear fashion to your legs. You can hike a lot longer that way than putting it up here on your shoulders. That being said though, this suspension system, I'm talking about the Cloud Lock 2 suspension on all of these packs. I don't know about the Redwing. It doesn't have it because it's more of a smaller pack, but these two larger ones do. Very comfortable, very durable. Here's your load alleviation, or your stabilizing straps right here. Fastex buckles. Notice how they're looped through the top portion of the bag to pull that bag down towards your head. Sometimes with an internal frame, when you pack this right here, what happens is it bends away and it actually throws the weight away from your neck and your back, and it throws you out of balance. You want to keep that load very tight in an internal frame pack, which obviously all of these are. Big fan of external frames, you guys know that. Love them, love them, love them. But there's not that many out there, and the ones I have, I'm hanging on to forever. But there's some big advantages also to the internal frame like this. Lower profile, easier to get through brush. They're more compact, and a lot of people think they're more comfortable and more quiet than the others. Okay, so that's the suspension system. There's your sternum strap. Notice the colorations. This is where I'm going to talk about this. That is almost a perfect green. I want to call it sage, but it's actually a little bit darker than sage, and it's not olive drab, and it's not deep forest. It's almost like a sage forest green. Now, the Redwing is available in multiple colors because it's more of a versatile pack. It's, people can use it for school, for travel, airline travel, whatever. This one comes, I believe, in red, a color I call mallard. It's kind of a blue-green, and this is subject to change. Black, also a great color. And believe it or not, now FDE. Flat desert earth, they may call it tan or coyote. Here's a picture right there. All great colorations. This one is one of my favorite. In all these packs, my favorite colors will be this one, the green, this green. There's another one that's really bright, too loud. The coyote brown or FDE, and the black, the classic black. Probably the best color if you're going to go the BOK route, or if you want to just be low profile and don't look tactical. But camouflage wise, if that's important to you, if you're going to be out in the woods, out in the desert environments like we do all the time, that tan's going to be best. It won't stand out. The darker colors blotch and they really stand out. This one does okay. Up in the high alpine environments, it did great. I'm talking the coloration. All right, so that's the suspension system. Is it comfortable? I think we established that. Absolutely. Special features, pockets, and attachments. It's awesome. Okay, first off, this is what I love about all these packs. They're both front loading and they're top loading. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me explain it this way. A lot of internal frame packs, especially ones that brag about how light they are only top loading. The bad thing about top loading is to get anything, you got to go through the top. So if you have a lumbar section or a top pouch like this, you got to peel it up, dig through the whole internal area of the pack to find your flashlight, to find your whatever, your water bottle, your extra food, your stove, and then you've just dug everything out, and that whole carefully packed system you have in your pack is ruined. Not so with the Kelty Red Cloud, the Coyote, or even the Redwing, which is actually a hybrid U-zipper. I'll show you. For instance, let's say I want to get inside this Coyote 80. Here's your compression straps on the side. The Red Clouds are exactly the same, so we can cinch that load very close to our body, right? If we have a gun, by the way, these are flow-through pockets, just like I talked about in the Eagle 128, 7850. So I can put a gun right here. Granted, it can't be a really broad gun like an AR-15, an AK, but like a Ruger 1022, no problem. A lever action, no problem. And then you're gonna put it underneath this strap, lock it in on both sides, and put the butt stock in these very amply sized mesh pockets, which are on all the packs that I'm showing you. Yes, it does work. You may say, well, doesn't that throw your load off? No, it doesn't. You could compensate for it by putting your other heavy stuff in this pocket. All right, so we're talking about digging in though. That was a little deviation, a little sidetrack. Check this. And I just have pillows in here. Pop this compression strap off. Look at this. You're in the pack. And you have a retaining mesh portion right here so everything doesn't dump out. That's pretty wicked cool, man. Notice the quality. So all the seams are taped with what looks to be a very high quality Oxford nylon. The zippers are medium YKK. Excellent zippers with great zipper pulls. You don't have to add zipper pulls because they're here. Again, Kelty isn't the only one doing this. I'm not saying they are. I'm just showing the quality. Notice the light color that they line the pack with. Mountain Smith is good with this too. A lot of them are. So, top load if you want. There you go. You done cinch that. Notice there's a stabilizing strap on top to compress the load longitudinally. Down like that. Love this pack. Love it. Red Cloud's the same way, man. And then you have excellent organization capability on this external pocket. All the packs are this way that I'm showing you. Both the Redwing, the Coyote, and the Red Cloud series. There will be some differences in these pockets, but mostly you're going to have organization pockets. For instance, the Redwing, I may show it to you, has pin pockets, a cell phone pocket, PDA, iPod, whatever. There you go. That's for your car keys. You could attach a light there. And most importantly, it's not like tiny. And the zipper goes all the way down. That allows you to access your gear really quick. I don't like it when they just have a halfway zipper and stuff, and up there it's just a hassle. Side pockets, I don't really show you the side. I tell you the flow through. Same thing. Then on the front you have daisy chain. Hey, nutnfancy, did you ever use those? Yeah, I do actually. I don't use it for what they're intended to be used for, and that is an ice axe, maybe some crampons, ice climbing stuff. Maybe in Glacier Call we did, but usually I don't. I'll tie like a griddle on there, like a griddle that I'm cooking over the fire, garbage bags, because I always pack all my garbage out, just other stuff I don't have room for, especially in an internal frame pack, like Allie's bed, that's my black lab. I'll carry it for her sometimes. This is nice to have. Speaking of nice to have, check this out. This is going to be available not on the Redwing, but the Coyote and the Red Cloud. And that is this top portion right here. Spindrift. Some guys call it that, or a lumbar pack. It is detachable and it can function as a fanny pack. It adds volume to the pack. You can put soft stuff up there. This is a great place for your fleece gloves, your beanie caps, your maps. Anything that's lightweight is what I store up here. Be careful though, this is where the rain hits, so if you have something that's super absorbent of water, you might want to waterproof it. Put on a pack cover for this, or just, be careful. Don't put anything in there that absorbs water. But stuff readily accessible, you can do it. And it has a separation pocket, both the Red Cloud and the Coyote, right there. Good zipper pulls. Detachable completely, nice. Now, in times past, I don't know if I've told you this or not, I'm not a huge fan of this particular design because to get into the pack, I have to detach this. So I have to snap this off right there, maybe snap this one off and get into it. But remember, with these two larger packs, they're also panel loading. So I'm not committed to that process to get to my gear, right? Compression straps on the bottom. And more importantly, light. Very light for its capability. As a reminder, this one, the 90 is 5 pounds, 10 ounces for 5,500 cubic inches and 90 liters. The reason for that is that Kelty was smart in choosing the materials. And you guys have seen me at the trade shows. I take the manufacturers to task. I was like, hey, great pack, but why did you use this heavy material like 1000 Codra or Cordura? They're like, well, we want it to be bulletproof, you know? We want it to last forever. I'm like, that's great. It's too damn heavy. Okay, and that material is not needed. Let's look again at the Coyote. This fabric is actually 420 denier polyester ball shadow is what Kelty calls this. Notice it's kind of a ripstop polyester. In my experience, extremely durable. And then you have 450 denier polyester Oxford. That's what's on the back of the pocket. It looks like Cordura right here. And polyester actually is much more sun resistant than nylon, so you won't have to worry about this. In a long term, maybe WRL situation, this pack is out in the sun a lot. I'd much rather have a polyester pack than a nylon pack. Just something to keep in mind with. Now going inside of the Redwing, here's your organization pocket. Now the Redwing, if you don't remember, is the smallest pack. I've always loved the Redwing, by the way. Always, always, always. It's a go-to, what I will call a small to medium sized internal frame pack. Always has been. There's your organization pocket. And then maybe I will show you the hybrid U-zip. It's both panel load and top load with this. I don't know if I like it better than the other Redwing system, which I'm going to show you, but it's still pretty good. And the reason I say that is to get to the pack, you're going to have to undo your stabilization straps or your compression straps. And the reason I'm not super excited about that on this Redwing, I think it's awesome, don't get me wrong, because I might have a fishing pole in here or something else. And so it kind of unlocks that. No big deal. But here's your U-zip right here. Check it. Okay, so I'm just unzipping this Redwing and off we go to the races. It's actually a pretty clean design. And the upside to that is they've made the pack a lot lighter, so it has less zipper material than the older Redwing does. They got a lighter backpack with basically the same functionality. And then inside, I'll use the Redwing, I guess, for this. Here's your water capability, your integration of your Camelback or something. So you got 2 clips running on a nylon slider, like that, and you have a pocket. In the larger ones, you actually have 2 pockets. So if you want to run 2 bladders, you can. 2 Camelbacks. You guys don't see me often drinking out of Camelbacks for a couple reasons. One, they're maintenance for me, so I usually leave water in them. I forget the water's in them. I don't clean them out, and then it's mossy. It has funk and crap in it. It's a huge project to clean them. The water tastes weird often with the bladders, and then I'm snow hiking. They freeze up on me, so I'm usually using water bottles more frequently. That's what you see in the videos, and I'll continue to do that. By the way, here's your frame sheet. This is an HDPE frame sheet on the Redwing, also in the Coyote and the Red Cloud, but they're going to be thicker. And remember, this is the same material that's on the hip belt that transfers that weight. These are just awesome packs. Awesome. You have routing areas for the tubes for H2O, of course. And then here's your aluminum stay on the Redwing. They call this aluminum stay, I think, like, I don't know, I forget. Like airflow or something, aluminum stay. And there's 2 of them in the Coyote and the Red Cloud. How much weight can they take, nutnfancy? I'm not super sure because I haven't hard tested the Redwing. I would say anything that's realistic, probably up to 60 pounds in the Redwing would be fine. Once you go beyond that, you're probably going to get so much flex, you won't like it, and you want to go to something heavier. Probably, I would recommend an external frame pack if you can find one. But most guys don't carry that much weight in their internal frame packs. Not that I see. And then all of the packs have these awesome haul handles on them right here. Very needed. No, it's not that spectacular. All the good packs have that. These big ones have dedicated sleeping bag compartments to include the Coyote, Red Cloud. Like that. And bottom webbing. Let's take a look at the big Mamma Jamma, the mothership. Red Cloud 110 on the bottom. That's actually a place you could strap a tent with these bottom compression straps, right? And then you have a dedicated sleeping bag compartment down here. The access into the Red Cloud will be the same from the front, from the top. It's just bigger. And bigger is better when you want more capabilities, assuming you can take the weight. These are awesome bags. Awesome. Let me talk about this real quick. When you get a large size internal frame pack, you usually want to have a head pocket. I didn't really test it that much with this Red Cloud. And what I mean is when you load it up, you don't want that bulging into your head, because what it does, it knocks your head down, and as you're hiking along, you can't really straighten up like that. I didn't really test it with the Red Cloud yet, but from all looks, from what I can tell, I think it's pretty squared away, because we got compression straps, we can pull that load away from it, and it has load stabilizing straps here. The reason it's kind of poofed out right here is because I have pillows in there. Great organization, great suit features everywhere. I think I've covered most of them. How about durability and reliability? It's a Kelty, man. That's not to say it's perfect. I mean, Kelty products can fail. One failed on me way back in the 80s. The pack strap broke on a Super Tioga Expedition, actually an Expedition Tioga. I called Kelty. They totally replaced the pack straps for me and gave me the highest, rated set they had. Talk about an awesome company. Yeah, that's how you get loyal customers like myself. I think the fabric choices are excellent. I think the bottom fabric is good enough. Again, that's a 420 denier. If you're dragging it on concrete, or if you go on a deployment in the military with this bag, it'll wear out on you. We saw that with the Eagle. The Eagle's has tougher fabric than this. But again, it's that firepower versus mobility thing, right? Hey, I want a really tough pack. Well, roger that. Do you want to be able to carry it? Yeah, I do. Okay, do you want a pack that weighs, 15 pounds empty because it's built so strong? Well, no. Okay, then you have to be smart with your gear and just accept some trade-offs. I think the Coyote, the Redwing, and the Red Cloud strike that balance very well. How about value? This is where I'm going to end the video because it's so smoking, relatively speaking. Now, when I say relatively speaking, I'll do a review like this and guys say, well, I like this backpack made in China that's 80 bucks. Well, I don't know where these are made. They may be made in the US, may be made overseas. But you get what you pay for. You can go out and, again, buy an extremely expensive internal frame pack, spend up to $700, even more, and be happy as a clam. There's a lot of people like that. But I think it's wasted money. Seriously. Because for this Redwing, for instance, wherever it went, okay, right here, this one retail is 120 bucks. That's good value. 120 bucks for a Kelty Redwing. The Coyote, 80. It's hard to keep them all straight. By the way, this is model 226-10713. 220 retail. Totally worth it. A lot cheaper than that Eagle, right? That Eagle was expensive. And my deal I was giving you guys through Amron International was $350, but that's like a $425 pack, which is actually a good deal for that pack and that huge of a pack, tactical backpack. The Red Cloud 110 is going to retail about $240. If I were you, I would order it direct from Kelty. They have free shipping. Unless you can find it cheaper somewhere else. But just go to Kelty, tell them Nut and Fancy sent you. $240. And then the Red Cloud 90, which is just a little bit smaller. You guys might like that one even better. $220 retail. I think the prices are going to hover right around there. Get them while you can, because they will be gone before you know it. The models will be replaced. And if you find this video years in the future, you'll go, now they're neon green. That sucks. They're all red. If you like those colors, awesome. But I find in the Kelty lineup, as years go by, they're going to change styles, they're going to change the design. Some will be awesome, some won't. One more thing I want to show you guys before I end. This is the previous version of the Kelty Redwing, and this is a pure panel loading pack, but notice the bigger zippers, maybe a little bit heavier. This is an awesome black coloration, like I was telling you. It's a great all-around color. I've put a lot of use on this one, will continue to do so. But it's not that hybrid zipper. Doesn't have the same pocket system, but more or less it's the same approach. Okay, this one had the green interior. By the way, if you can find these 2012, 2011 models of Keltys and these awesome colorations like black, here's a Red Cloud 110 in charcoal gray, which is going to be even cheaper. I say pull the trigger. because it's going to be even cheaper than what I was telling you. There's this coloration. Check it. That's a good color. It will blend well. It looks good. It's low profile. It's actually a gray blue. I think this is a 2012 Red Cloud 110. Have a tradition of backpacking. Be ready when you need it. The key to being able to do that is, one, of course, physical fitness and the blessing of good health, which we can all lose at any time. I understand that. And then also you need a good piece of equipment, and the core to your backpacking equipment will be the backpack. Nut Fancy. See ya.